for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah. Today's Thursday, May 3rd, 2018. 123 days into the new year, just 242 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States, hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? It's Thursday night's Fadernight. I know you're in a great mood. You have to be. Thursday. And we got the weekend off. Man, we had so much fun today. I'll tell you about all of that in just a minute. Tonight, it's another Fader night. We're going to do open lines all night long. John Rappaport is away taking care of business, so he'll be back here next Thursday. Okay, so we're gonna go for it like we do. Bottom of the hour, open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. These gifts are amazing tonight. They're above your normal. Mark Tarana, I like that one. Where did this? I've never seen that before. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's Thursday night's Fader night. Open lines all night long. Whatever you guys want to do, it's your show. It's my favorite night, and I want to believe guitar. What? Is this for real? I can have one of these done. Oh, man, that is cool. I dig that. I dig that a lot. And, you know, the only issue I have with this Strat, it's maple neck. It's perfect. The bridge, I would have to go, I got to go original bridge. I don't like those new Fender bridges. But, yeah, that's me. It's the right color, too. Maple neck. I'll retweet that, Mark. That's well done. Where did you find this? Let me know. I can have Fender make me one. I just want to know if somebody's already, yeah. I want the story behind this guitar. Let me know where you found it. Let me know. All right. The Sandbox is hashtag F2B on Twitter. You can follow me right now on Twitter at JChurchRadio. You want to see this Strat? Somebody said, I don't know if it was on Twitter or somewhere else. It might have been over on OnStellar. More guitar talk. And I was like, yeah. I can do guitar talk all night long. Rita hears something like that, and I'm telling you, she's like, oh, here we go. All right. Damon just said, not getting the live feed yet. Yes, you are. Everybody else is. All Everybody else is, Damon. Refresh your screen. Do something. Okay. Where am I at? Twitter. I don't know how much longer we're going to be on Facebook, folks. I do not know. But you can go now. See, the whole point, I'm going to milk Facebook for every single thing that it's got. You know, they took my data. I'm going to take theirs. My son did it in Photoshop in 15 minutes. Oh, so that's not a real... Oh, wow. He did a great job on that, Mark. He did it in Photoshop in 5 minutes. All right, so I could send this to them and say, make it. All right. I'll do that. I'll send this to Fender and have them build me one of these. I think that's really cool. And you're right. It would fix the problem in the background. Fix that poster problem. Any questions or comments during the show tonight? Use hashtag F2BQ. Still getting last night's show on JimmyChurchRadio.com instead of tonight's live one. Okay. Rita will get that fixed. I don't know what she's listening to right now, but she'll get it up. Okay. Where are we? Let's see. It's open lines all night long. Bottom of the hour, we're going to open everything up, and we'll crank through this. Today is day 9 of the OnStellar Alpha testing. And I got an email today. I got a bunch of email today, but I got one today that said, Jimmy, man, you know, I'm going to stay with Facebook. Does this have to be an OnStellar pitch? Yes, it does. It does, and you're more than welcome to stay over on Facebook. We're just not going to be there. Okay, we're not going to be over on Facebook. The things that Rita, please call Drew. Okay, it's that simple. We're live everywhere else. Okay, so OnStellar. The experience there, and Rita was talking about this to me earlier today, which is the experience that OnStellar has, you know, without, the advertising and the ability in real time to engage with everybody. You're not choked back. You're not, 5% or anything, that are seeing your post. That is one of the coolest things there. And you're able to message and post and the articles and images. You've got a full text editor there. So the community is able to get all of this stuff back and forth really, really quick. And it's just the experience of not having interference run, knowing that this is what's most important, knowing that your experience isn't based on how many ads you click on, So that's what's most important. So there you go. Yeah, and for those of you that aren't, it doesn't matter. Rita, you need to call Drew. Okay, it's that simple. Just please call Drew. The platform incorporates everything, though. Everything. And we've got video channels coming. The live feed should be there in a couple of days. And everything else, being able to post and do things so quickly, which is getting messages out and information out and research out. And then when the blockchain kicks in, and the online aspect of token economy for authors and researchers and YouTube or videos, all of that will be built in. It's going to be really, really cool. So have patience, too, by the way. There are a couple of databases out there that needed to merge between OnStellar and the beta version of the site. Alpha at OnStellar.com. And if you've got any issues with that, most of it transferred. But if you've got any issues, because it's so minimal, the people that had difficulty signing on, because There are thousands and thousands and thousands on the site right now, and they're having a great time. Okay, so if you have an issue with, it says it doesn't recognize your email, that's because it's recognizing your password, but it's not matching your email. Or the opposite, it's not recognizing your password. Just reset your password, and it fixes everything. So you can do that too as well. And it's a very small amount of you, but I understand the frustration. So the easiest thing to do, just go, change your password, and go. Have a good time. alpha.onstellar.com. Okay. That is, but you only see articles on Stellar Social. There is no general talk, or is that how it's going to be? That's not true, Jace. There's all kinds of general talk, and that's exactly what's going on there. You know, post. All you got to do is post. You have a comment, post. If you have friends in your friends list, everybody that's on your friends list is going to see your post and they're going to comment. You can go and message everybody. You can do all of the communication right now that you can do on Facebook. It's all the same. And the articles that everybody else is writing, you don't get that on Facebook. You don't get any notifications of that and trending and being able to see what other people are reading and a full page of it. No, I mean an infinite scrolling page. No, I totally I gotta disagree with you on that. That's all that is going on right now is conversation. Man, I talked all day. So cool. I had issues with my email address. I just logged in right now. He's fixed. So yeah, it's all good. All right. Okay. Drew says it may be beyond fixing right now. The code is glitchy. Okay, well, everything is free over on YouTube. Go to the Bunker Cam. Everybody can watch the Bunker Cam right now, right? What about KGRA? TuneIn? All of the other... What about TalkStream Live? Okay. I don't think the feed is live yet. That must be what they're talking about. The feed is, just go to Spreaker. Just go to Spreaker. Thank you for that, Rita. I'll go ahead and retweet this out right now. Thank you so much. Boom. Okay. All right. Got a lot to talk about tonight, and let me fix this. Boom. Okay, so there it is. Just go to Spreaker. We're live over there. We're live everywhere else except for the website, and I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right. Last night we had Michaela Sheldon on the show. She is going to be up at ECETI Ranch for Soul Tech. That is going down August 9th through the 12th. You can get all of the information that you need at soultechgathering.com. The links are there to get yourself a campsite, and it's at Trout Lake. Whatever you need to do if you want to Airbnb it, I would say get yourself a campsite and come and hang out with us. Bunker Cam is live. I'm looking at that now. The NS Seder knots are striking again. So we're going to be up there, Soul Tech, up at ECETI Ranch. Just go to soultechgathering.com. And our next event, which is coming up in 3 weeks, June 1st through the 4th, 2018, will be at Contact in the Desert in Indian Wells, Palm Springs, California, at the Renaissance Resort and Spa. 4 nights of activities. So many of the Fadernights are going to be there. OnStellar is going to be there. Everything is it's a 24-hour-a-day event. It's going to be so much fun. The Contact in the Desert at the Renaissance Resort and Spa. Click on the banners over at jimmychurchradio.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We have over 800 and, well, after today, it's like 850 archive shows, custom apps, Apple, Android, just $2 a month. You can also become a Fadernight in our membership section of the site. And you can get everything that you need, downloadable archives, commercial-free. You get if you get the Game Changer, autographed hats, T-shirts, all that stuff. And so go and become an official Fadernaut today. Happy birthday. Let's get the show cracking. Happy birthday to today. Are you ready? Frankie Valli is 84. Have you seen the film Jersey Boys? It's amazing. Check out Jersey Boys. Those guys were criminals. They were good, though. Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons, no doubt. Today, he's 84. Big Girls Don't Cry, Sherry. And I like the new Four Seasons stuff, too. The stuff from the 70s, like Who Loves You? That was a good song. Oh, What a Night? Good song. Right? Frankie singing the choruses. Happy birthday, Frankie. Frankie Valli today is 84. Our dead guy's birthday today, James Brown. 1933 to 2006, died at the age of 73. One of the greatest songs of all time, I Got You, I Feel Good. And Rolling Stone magazine ranked him 7th on their list of the 100 greatest artists of all time. Happy birthday, James Brown. OTD, on this day in history, 1952. A modified U.S. Air Force C-47 with skis, right? A ski-modified C-47, skis for landing gear, piloted by Lieutenant Colonel Joseph O. Fletcher of Oklahoma and Lieutenant Colonel William P. Benedict of California, becomes the first aircraft to land on the North Pole. A moment later, Fletcher climbed out of the plane, walked to the exact geographic North Pole, probably the first person in history to do so, on this day in 1952. Fader fact, fast becoming the most popular part of the show. Certainly one of my favorites. Tonight's Fader fact, vetted. I'm telling you, you're going to have a hard time repeating this tomorrow because nobody is going to believe you. Fader fact. Amsterdam pays alcoholics in beer to clean streets. That's right. You're an alcoholic in Amsterdam. You go and clean streets. This is what you get. You get 5 cans of beer for a day's work, plus 10 euros and a pack of cigarettes. I'm not making that up. And that is a Fader fact. 10 euros and a pack of smokes. 5 cans of beer. You got no reason to get a job if you're an alcoholic. You get 10 euros. That means you're going to get to eat. You get a pack of smokes to smoke with your 5 cans of beer. I wonder if it's cold. I wonder if it is cold. Well, that's your Fader fact. Tonight, it's open lines all night long. We're going to open them up in 10 minutes. At the bottom of the hour, the call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. All right. Let me hit this. Man, I got to say it on every show, but look at me in the bunker camp. Look at this. Fade to Black Blend is the best coffee in the world at any price. There is nothing that tastes that good. Kissed by the baby Jesus. And you can get yours right now. Go over to jimmychurchradio.com. Click on that River Moon Coffee banner. Promo code F2B Blend. 15% off of your order. Man, I got to do this one more time. I got a letter today. Got an email from Jeremiah. And I want to share this with you. Okay. So Jeremiah says, and I'm quoting, he says, "Let me be brief. What in the heck is going on with all of these ufologists, even supremely good ones, continuing to desperately find ways to support the obvious disinformation disguised as disclosure via the fake news media propaganda machine and the feds and the Department of Defense. He continues, since we have the New York Times et al., or the feds, been friends of ufology. He continues, I've spent 12 years working with the chronically homeless and people suffering from disabling mental illness, and the pattern I'm seeing in ufology reminds me of watching clients unable to leave abusive relationships. And I'm quoting here, oh, they promised they're telling the truth this time. Oh, they promised they wouldn't abuse or bully me again. Oh, they promised blah, 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 end quote. Jeremiah continues, Jimmy, have ufologists been so abused and bullied by the establishment that they are now in a codependent relationship with their abusers? He continues, Jimmy, why would any of us in this field, as experiencers, researchers, or both, ever put an ounce of trust in the establishment? He continues, we do not need them! Exclamation point. Well said. Jeremiah finishes up the email with this. We know the truth about what's going on, even if we can't necessarily define it, which is where Keel's and Valley's brilliant insights should take us. Why would we look to those institutions that have repeatedly lied to us and bullied and abused and humiliated us to tell us the truth of what we already know? Are we truly so brainwashed that we need them to define our realities? Jeremiah continues, I am so grateful that you, and you alone, are actually taking the tough, uncomfortable, and correct questions. The spirit of Bill Cooper lives on. Thank you so much, Mr. Church. Now, well, first off, thanks for the email, Jeremiah. I felt like I wrote it myself. It certainly is what I speak about each night on this show. I've got issues. And I've got issues. I'm working on my issues every day, trying to get better. But I have issues. And with this sudden friendship that we're supposed to have with the DOD. I totally agree with that. I did get notification today. All right, let me say this. I got notification today. I got an email, and Louis Elizondo is going to be the keynote speaker at the MUFON Symposium later on this summer. And I just thought, holy crap, right? That's interesting. Now, I know that MUFON has got a lot of members that are smart. They're just smart. And it's like having the wolf in the hen house. And if you're a member of MUFON, and now you're going to go and you're going to listen to Elizondo, you're going to hear what he has to say. But the DOD, as Jeremiah has pointed out here, and Washington has gone out of their way to do just that, to humiliate and discredit the UFO community. And suddenly now, somebody like Elizondo has been given a hall pass by the Department of Defense to come out here and make nice with this community, and suddenly he's our friend. I've said this for a very, very long time. Let's get a track record going here. Let's get a couple of years behind us before we are all open arms. Because so far, and I want everybody at MUFON and Jan Harzan to listen to what I'm saying now. listen to me very closely. So far, Luis Elizondo or TTSA and or has not done a thing. Nothing. Not one thing. Nada. Okay? None of those videos were released by them, number one. And after that, the mistakes that they have made, of which they're a mile long, those are on one side. The only thing that they have completed is a bunch of disinfo and mistakes. Nothing on the positive side of the fence. Number two, just so you know, I am totally open to unity in the community, and that includes TTSA and Luis Elizondo and everybody else. Get a track record going, and we're cool. Over at On Stellar, right now, there is a To the Stars page. Oh, yeah. There's a To the Stars Academy group. Okay? I'm cool with that. You knew it was going to happen. And if you haven't seen it, go to On Stellar, go to the Stars, and you'll see it for yourself. You like that, don't you? Everybody is welcome at On Stellar. And so when all of this smoke clears, all right, this is my prediction. No, you know what? I'll save it for the phone calls tonight. I'll address this further with you because I do have a prediction. I do. I really do. And I'm never wrong. You know what the beautiful thing is? I'm never wrong. I don't like being in that position. It's only that I question everything. I want to see the squinty eyes Simpsons gif pop up. And I keep those squinty eyes going. And I just don't buy in. I don't. I don't buy in. That's all that I ask. You know, there are some amazing experiencers, abductees, researchers out there that have been doing nothing but their very best to share the knowledge and get it out there for ufology for decade after decade. And they're still here and they're still moving forward. There are plenty that have fallen by the side, groups, things, right? And we have a way of policing ourselves. So, Jeremiah, thank you for the email. And you're absolutely right. This community is strong, and we will police ourselves. We don't need the Department of Defense. We don't need anything, right? We don't have to sit back and hope and wait. No, we don't. We don't need anything to back up what we already know. What I would love to hear from the DOD is that, hey, we are in possession of this and this and this, and we have for a long time. We're sorry about it. Now we've got to move forward, and we've been in contact for 70 years. Give us that, and we can move forward. Anything short of that, it's disinfo, it's bunk, it's BS, and it's just running on that. It's like that hamster habit trail. That's what it is, and I don't have time for that. Just don't have time for it. Bring it or don't, but don't waste my time. Don't waste this community's time. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's open lines all night long. Thursday night, Fadernight, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. It's Fade to Black in the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back with your phone call. Stay with me.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Natural Health Solutions with Chris and Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing?
Great, Chris.
Now, you're the CEO of GetTheTea.com, right?
Yes, I am.
What is GetTheTea.com? I mean, is this tea you buy in a store?
Well, no, it's not. Life Change Tea is just that. Life-changing. Life Change Tea is an herbal tea that gently cleanses your body from intruders.
What do you mean by intruders?
Well, intruders are toxins, chemicals, GMOs, heavy metals, and more. They're in our food, in our water, in our air we breathe.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
And Life Change Tea will help you with removing these, as you say, intruders?
That's right, Chris.
Are there side effects with this tea?
Well, you might lose a little weight. When you clean your colon, you lose weight, you feel better, and you have more energy.
Wow. Ronnie, where can people purchase Life Change Tea?
Oh, that's easy. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
Ronnie, I want to thank you for being on the show. People, don't forget, GetTheTea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA. The Planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at KGRAradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. KGRAradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This portion of the show is brought to you by Life Change Tea, makers of Life Change Tea. Super strength tea. We drink it every single day. Go to the banners over at jimmychurchradio.com. Click, use the promo code FADER, F-A-D-E-R, and you will get yourself free shipping. Don't forget to check out Ancient Life Oils, too. The banners are right there. CBD. Do that every day, too. Look. See, this is my day. This is what I do every day. Just every day. I like the drops. I got the pills. I got the pills. I got those too. That's G.I. Joy. Amazing stuff. All right. It's Thursday night. It's open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Going back to Jeremiah's email, and I'm looking at everybody's comments here that are flying through in Twitter. Look, I don't want to say I don't want to say that we or that there are. I want to be correct here, okay? Because I'm not one to start fires. All I want to do is get answers. That's all I want. I just want answers. What has happened so far? What could have been? And I'm talking about Louis Elizondo and, of course, To the Stars, because it affects this community. And what happened in December was a really big deal to have the mass media suddenly talking about UFOs. That never happened before. So that was great. And then after that, it just fizzled. It crashed. It burned. The bus went off the road into the cornfield, all flat tires, and it's just sitting there. Nothing has happened. Nothing. Absolutely zilch. And everything that was put forward has been shot down. So you have to ask yourself, especially when Elizondo, who worked for counterintel, well, that's a gig that is shifty at best. Defense intelligence and all of that stuff, that's a sketchy background to come into ufology and the conspiracy world with, and suddenly come in here and say, hey, I'm with you guys. Wait a minute. It was your job to not. So I feel weird about that. And then everything that has happened since then, it feels like, to me, that it was done on purpose. It just feels weird. There's been nothing positive. Zero, zilch, nothing, nada, nothing. And so I feel a little dirty here. So when you kind of get those squinty eyes and you go back and you look at that, for the UFO community to suddenly turn and embrace the Pentagon, we all knew that was a mistake to begin with. But you go and do that, you're going to get what you ask for. And what ended up happening is what we expected. Nothing. Right? Could this entire thing, it's all run by the CIA and counterintelligence and all of this stuff, it's like it's been some big psyops. Some crazy thing. I don't know how else to put it, but it was cleverly done. So I'm looking at these comments. Mark just said, does Elizondo have any credibility left? Well, the answer, it's possible he could. They all have UFO disease. They cling to new material to the point of fabrication to stay relevant. That I agree with. I couldn't agree with you more. Sabrina says, Jeremiah is absolutely correct. Why does humanity continue to ask for someone to validate what it is they already know to be true? You know this already. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission to believe. That's exactly 100% correct. I've said it a million times. I don't need anybody to tell me what I have seen. I don't. That it's real or not. I don't need to hear that from somebody. There's nothing that's going to prop me up or change the events that happened. So that's the way that I look at this right now. So we're waiting for these answers. And I went from one side that was positive and rah-rah team, because I thought that it was going to continue this surge, and that there was going to be some amazing stuff rolling out, finally, to the point where everything that did happen turned out to be either fake, wrong, a Mylar balloon, or complete disinfo, not accurate, and untrue. And that's a bad way to start things off. It's a bad way, and I feel there are some people over there at TTSA that I respect, and I don't know, I don't know what the future is. It's very possible because it's very possible because of the UFO community not embracing it. I will say this: the UFO community just stopped. It didn't embrace TTSA at all, and that's all on TTSA. It has nothing to do with the UFO community. But if it's going to move forward at all, then there's got to be some substance to come out that is not only verifiable, but is something new, something that isn't recooked or refried. That's got to happen. And there's so many questions out there that have to be answered that I don't know if they're going to be able to be addressed. So the possible psyop here that was from the Pentagon could fizzle and go away. There's no use for it anymore. Nobody buys what they're selling, so there's no use for it. Not in the UFO community. MUFON, see, this is the other thing. Having Elizondo over speaking at MUFON, storied history. We all know who MUFON is, and I do like Jan Harzan. I do. I really do. He inherited a mess, and he's trying to get it back upright and so forth. So there you go. But MUFON itself is a very small organization. It's not like what you think it is. It's not like there's 100,000 members. It's nothing like that. It's in the low thousands, right? Worldwide. You can go and look it up. You can look up how many members are there in MUFON. So the big MUFON symposium is going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of, and I'm guessing here, Elizondo speaking, there might be 510 attendees. And which is typical for MUFON. It was bigger years ago. But that's where it is today. There is no huge influence that is going to come out of some breaking thing by having Louis Elizondo speaking there. And there are those at MUFON. I'm telling you, man, they sit on their hands and they want the real stuff. And you better bring it. And you can't bring a song and dance. You can't do that. You can't. You just can't. It's very, very hard to gain the respect of MUFON's members, and I'm telling you, I'm speaking from my own experience. So it's just a weird thing that is going on right now. It's like it's a last gasp. So I don't know. I don't know what the future is. I'm talking about TTSA. I don't know where things are going to go forward with that, but there's just so much going on right now. And I get a letter like this today from Jeremiah, and he's absolutely right that the UFO community and some of the best researchers out there are suddenly embracing the DOD, who has been against them for so long without bringing anything to the table. They're bringing nothing to the table. Is zero. Nada. All right, let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. Are you there? 3, 2, 1. Gotta let you go. It's that simple. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. But that's where I'm coming from on this. And I would love nothing more. Oh, man, I've got things to say. Okay, I'll try this one more time. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
How come you hung up on me?
No, well, because you weren't talking.
Oh no, my phone got disconnected. But I had a medical procedure that showed you how much the government is hiding from us. I had these T-cell injections, stem cell injections in my knees and my shoulders and I went from being in a wheelchair 3 days ago to being able to walk.
Yeah, you're breaking up. We're not hearing you.
What's that?
Okay, well, you're cutting out.
Oh, there, I got you now.
Okay. So you had T-cell injections, I think you said?
Yeah, in both my knees and my back. And I went from being in a wheelchair 3 days ago to now being able to walk without these knee braces and back braces, everything else. It just goes to show you what the government's hiding from us, or not really hiding from us, but just keeping us, keeping the medical companies or, it's all about the dollar bill.
Yeah, it is. It is. What's your name?
Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Woodbury. Yeah, from Woodbury, Minnesota.
Okay, so Dan, congratulations, man. How long were you wearing those knee braces in the wheelchair?
Oh, I was wearing knee braces for the last 20 years.
Oh, man.
I went through about 6 different pairs, and the wheelchair's been on and off for the last 2 years.
Wow.
I could still walk, but my left leg would go numb.
Right.
And then I'd collapse, and so.
Well, I'm so happy for you, though, man. That is.
Oh, thanks.
Man, so did you play some James Brown tonight and do a little jig? Are you dancing?
Well, I'm not dancing yet, but I just wanted to let your listeners see the stem cell research where they can inject right into these your joints,
right?
Get rid of arthritis,
right?
And it's amazing.
Well, see, and that's that's my point, Dan. Is that here you are, you get the injections, and boom, 3 days later, you're up, the knee braces are off, and it just shows to everybody out there that they're holding back. And you could have had this done a while ago, and so many others, right? But,
absolutely.
Yeah, they're holding it back. But I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's getting better every day.
You know what?
It just gets better and better and better every day.
Dan, do you have a Fade to Black T-shirt?
No.
Do you want one?
Absolutely.
Will you take a picture? If I send you one, will you take a picture and send it to me?
Oh, I'll take 3 pictures.
All right, do me a favor. Write Rita right now. Rita@jimmychurchradio.com. Send us your address and your T-shirt size, okay? I'll sign it for you and get it right out to you.
All right, great talking to you. I was really surprised to get through, and then you even answered the phone after you hung up. After I hung up on you.
It's only because I saw the number and I just thought, let's make this happen. All right, so Dan, enjoy the rest of your evening, my man. I'm so glad you're up, you're healthy, getting healthier, I should say. And please get me your address so I can send you a Fade to Black T-shirt. All right?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. Great phone call, and I really mean that. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Yeah, stem cells, the more that I read and the more that I know and study about stem cells, it just makes you wonder, right? And they just want to figure out a way to profit. Once they figure that out, then they might break through with it. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Jimmy, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Jimmy, this is Mike Talaski calling from Rogers City, Michigan. How's it going tonight?
How you doing, Mike?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
What's on your mind?
I wanted to get in on your discussion about what's going on with the Luis Elizondo deal.
So, what do you think's going on?
Well, look at the timing of it.
How so?
I think it's like you say, man. It's a psyop.
Well, if it's not, it's psyop-ish, right?
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, look at the timing of it. You had all that stuff going on in Las Vegas,
right?
And it was just, it's a cover-up. They're trying to distract you. That's what they're doing. They're distracting you.
What do you think they're from what?
I think they're trying to distract you from everything that's going on with the sealed indictments.
Could be. I'm still waiting for I've been waiting for these sealed indictments for 10 years, man. I don't know. I don't know if that part of life is real. Could be, though. But I'm not, I don't know if those two are connected, although they could be. Distraction from other stuff, such as, and if you think about it, all of the world events that are going on right now, all of them. We have Syria, we have Libya, we have Israel, Jerusalem, the Gaza Strip, Yemen, what's going on right now with that war with Saudi Arabia. Of course, you've got Iran and Turkey, Russia. These are extreme world events. I would normally say North Korea, but it looks like that's about to chill out, so that's cool. But all of these things are happening at the same time. So could it be distraction from all of that? Possible.
You got it.
I mean,
you got it. That's what they're trying to do.
It's possible.
I mean, that's what they do. That's what the left does too.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's part of their ploy.
I agree.
Because, I mean, think about it. When they went to the Department of Defense, they're not confirming anything.
Well, do you trust Mike, do you trust the Department of Defense?
No, nobody in the country trusts them. But there's a small percentage that's trying to control everybody else's way of thinking. The same thing they're doing on Facebook and the whole media. I mean,
well, what about
everybody knows what's up?
Yeah. So, Mike, what about when you have a situation with To the Stars Academy,
right,
and they're joined at the hip? They want us to believe that that they've got the Pentagon in their back pocket. But that's not what it is. He's not even with the Pentagon. He retired. Right.
I mean,
well, so
when you go to the Pentagon, they're saying that they didn't release the tape. Well, they didn't release the tape.
So who do you?
I think these guys.
That's
these
exactly.
Guys got it from. These guys got it from the German company or something.
Right.
When they declassified it,
so
they got it back.
So who do we believe? Who do we trust? Luis Elizondo says one thing. And then it turns out, like you said, it came from a German company, one of the videos, and that happened in 2007, maybe even before that.
Yeah, I mean,
so that kind of
a joke.
So what do we do with that? I mean, is that because if somebody,
well,
let me say this. Let me say
this. It's fake news, because think about it.
I know.
It's fake news, and it's a setup, because think about it. When the Department of Defense isn't releasing anything on it, they're saying we didn't release the tape. We don't know what you're even talking about.
Right.
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 I mean, it's a setup. That's what it is. It's look here and don't look over here, because this is going on.
Check this out. Let's say let's
listen to this, Jimmy.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen to this. They got every one of the mainstream media biting on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's biting on it. Nobody did a follow-up on it. So actually, they're reporting fake news because it's fake. They're saying it's coming from DOD. It's not. It has nothing to do with DOD. They're reporting it as fake news, therefore still continuing to lie.
Right. Right. And so Luis Elizondo, who retires from the Pentagon, the Department of Defense, and then a couple of days later signs on to the Stars Academy, right? So let me paint this picture for
accident.
you. Right. Now, let's say this. Let's say that
I think we're getting further
Mike,
along here than all these people on this network have been talking for months.
Mike, hear me out for a second.
You're going to figure this out.
Mike, hear me out. Let's say that you and a couple of friends are stealing cars, right? And you guys listen, and you guys are going out at night. You're stealing cars and then selling them to chop shops, right? And that's your gig. And life is good, right? And then some guy comes up to you and says, "Hey, I'm a retired detective. I retired from the police force here in the city 3 days ago.
Got it, Jimmy.
And now I'm going to come work for you guys, and I'm going to give you all I'm going to give you all the secret. You're going to trust that suddenly this detective is now working with you guys. No.
You got it, Jimmy. It's Russia collusion. It's Russian collusion. Nobody's saying it. Nobody's saying it. I listen to KGRA all day long, dude. Nobody's bringing this stuff up. I don't know what the deal is.
Well, I will bring it up. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry. I will bring it up. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. In Jeremiah's letter today, when he was like, nobody else is talking about this but you. And I agree, and it's just so funny to me that everybody is comfortable with that. I'm telling you, Mike, I have been on the phone, I was going to say this week, for the last 3 or 4 months.
Richard Dolan on Monday or whatever. Yeah, man, I've heard it all. I've heard the whole thing. It's just crazy.
It's not just... It's not just Richard.
Linda,
Mike, you have to let me talk. 2 people talking at the same time is bad radio. But hear me out. I've talked to a bunch of researchers this week, and I've told them all the same thing. I've not changed my narrative from phone call to phone call. I've told them all the same thing. Right now, I'm not in on it. I'm not digging it. I'm not.
Neither was I.
Not
until December 16th.
That's it. That's it.
I mean, Linda Moulton House starts her every week off. December 16th. December 16th. That's all I hear about. It's ridiculous. Like they got all the answers. They don't know nothing. They know as much as you and I do, and we know more.
Linda's very good at what she does.
Exactly, she is.
Yep. She's very, very, very good. And let me tell you something, Mike. I got to take a break right here. I will say this: you don't want to. And here's the warning to Elizondo and DeLong and the crew. You don't want to get on Linda's bad side. You don't want to blow that.
No, tear them up.
It'll be really, really bad. So there you go.
I mean, everybody's trying to get to the bottom of it, but, we'll see what happens.
Thank you so much, Mike. Be safe and be well out there, my friend.
I got a question for you, Jimmy. Could I somehow get your address?
Rita.
Your physical address, because I don't email.
Okay. Well,
could you give me a call on this number?
Maybe Rita can. Okay.
I got some UFO video pictures for you.
Okay. All right. We have an address. Okay. Stay right there.
Thank you.
All right. Let's. I'm going to give out our address over the air. No, can't do that. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Open lines all night long. Thursday night, Fadernight. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I'll be right back.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly ancient life oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go back, Lee Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. It's open lines all night long, and I'm going to go straight to the UK on this one. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy.
Hi, who's this?
Mika again.
Hi, Mika. How are you?
I'm good.
Man, what time is it there?
It's almost 4 o'clock, or it is 4 o'clock.
And what time do you go to school?
I go to school at probably 8:30.
So,
really?
So you got up at this time of the morning just to call in to this show. You must be excited. You must be excited. Did you? Did you? Did you tell? I'm not laughing at you, Mika. You're just amazing. Okay, so there you go. You're keeping me on my toes. Did you tell all of your friends? Did you tell all of your friends that were sending you T-shirts?
Yeah.
And how excited were they? Do they know about Fade to Black now?
They do now, half of it, and my teacher's very excited as well.
No way. Do you know how cool this is? I'm telling you, you're going to be the coolest dude in school. You need to think about that for a second. You need to, you got to handle. You're going to have the chicks too. You're going to have that problem, right? You need to really think about the implications of your future, my man. So, what's on your mind tonight, Mika, or this morning?
Pardon?
I said, what's on your mind?
Well, I came onto this show tonight so we can talk a little bit more about Area 51, because I know you did a program about it.
Right.
And basically, I know there's S4 there, and there's a secret runway. And in S4, everyone thinks that there is a UFO in there and grey aliens.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, keep going. You got me on the edge of my seat.
And basically, there's a runway, and obviously, on another one, all the lights turned on in Area 51, and like this kind of shooting star something shot across the sky, and then all the lights went out. So they were trying to get something on that runway.
Yes.
And how important was this is, like, I think one of your crew was on that show in one of your ones, and she was astonished seeing that.
Right. Yeah, you're talking about my TV show. So you saw that. Yeah, Breaking Mysterious. Yeah, and you're talking about Wolf McCarran. And Wolf and the crew went out there. Wolf has been on the show many, many times. It's a very, very good friend of ours. I've known Wolf since we were little kids. But he was one of the original Area 51 guys out there that were shooting video back in 1990, 89. And there was definitely something going on out there. And if you probably know this, Mika, but until very recently, Area 51 didn't exist, right? They wouldn't talk about it. They wouldn't even acknowledge it. I know, isn't that crazy? You can see the land, you can see the runway, you can see the planes, you know it's there, but the government is saying it is not, right? It's just like, how crazy.
But the one thing is you go to the entrance and you know it's there straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has people or camo dudes watching you.
Yep.
They have cameras all set up. If you cross that barbed wire, they're allowed to shoot you. So I don't know what you do.
Well, what if you see? This is what we could do. You and I could go to Area 51 together, and you and I can walk up to those camo dudes, and you could protect me. Because as long as you're with me, they're not going to do nothing. And I could tell them, I'm going to say, hey, what are you going to do? Take Mika to jail? You don't think they'd arrest you, do you?
Well, thinking about it, I'm a little child. You can't take people until they're 20 years old to jail.
Right.
Or something like that. So
right.
You can't really take me.
Right. So we can handcuff ourselves to each other so they can't take me because then they would have to take you too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. So what do you think, though? Do you think that the government... I mean, because now the cat is out of the bag a little bit. Even you know about it, Mika. Do you think if they had alien bodies there and flying saucers, do you think they still have them there, or do you think that they've moved them?
Well, I would say they're still there because really, recently, strange stuff has been happening at Area 51.
You got that right. Yeah.
Like, on your thing... or your show, like where all the lights turned on and like that secret runway, if you pour water on it, then the lights all go on and it shows up.
I know.
So,
I know. Isn't it crazy?
It's weird.
I know. It's crazy. And it's long, too. It's too long for airplanes.
It's 3 miles long.
Yeah, it's 3 miles long. Wow, you know your stuff, Mika. You really do. Do you know about the black mailbox?
Yes, I do indeed.
Oh, man. Yeah, we got to go hang out. We got to hang out with you. I can't wait to meet you. But there's another place, though. There's Area 52. Do you know about that?
Area 52... I know it exists, but I don't really know about it just yet.
We think that it's up in Utah, and it may be Dugway Proving Grounds. So you can write that down. Write down Dugway. But that's one of the ideas. But just like Area 51 being secret, right, until now, it's the same thing with Area 52. They're not going to tell us about it. We've got to go and find it. You know what I mean? And I think you're just the man to do it.
I'm just a man to do it.
Yeah. Well, now, Mika, let me ask you about Rendlesham. That's right there in your backyard, Rendlesham Forest, and that you guys have one of the the most amazing UFO contact experiences ever, and that involved the United States Air Force, and it was right there. What do you think happened up at Rendlesham Forest?
Well, if you ask me, I haven't really been to Rendlesham, but I don't really know what happened. So if you can just give me a little bit more information, then I could know.
Yeah, okay, so it's called Rendlesham Forest, right? And Woodbridge. There's 2 Air Force bases up there, and one was a British Air Force base, right? And the other one was an American Air Force base, and they're next to each other. Right. And so they saw these strange lights in the forest, in Rendlesham Forest, outside of the East Gate. So they walked out, and they heard it on the radio. It was around Christmas, 1980. Right. And they walk out, and they go on patrol, and they see the lights in the forest, and the guys that I'm talking about right now, they've been on this show, Mika. I've talked to them. I've talked to all of them. I've met them. So they walk up, and Jim Peniston and John Burroughs and Adrian Bastenza, they go up and they see this craft, and it was a black, weird-shaped craft. It wasn't like a round flying saucer. It was angular. But it's sitting in the forest, with lights coming off of it, and it's right in front of them. Right in front of them. And they lost their memory, and it happened. So after that, the lights came back. 2 nights later, they went back out and they chased it through the woods. They chased it, and they got it all on tape. You can listen to it, not on videotape, on a recorder. Right? They recorded it. And you can hear their conversation about what was going on with the lights in the forest. Now, there's more to the story than that. So, but now you know, Rendlesham Forest. And you need to tell your dad and your mom, hey, peeps, what's going on? When are we going up to Rendlesham? You've got to go. They have a trail you can go. It's marked, the Rendlesham Forest UFO incident. Right. And you can walk right there. You guys are in Dover. It's just a walk in the park, man. It's just right there.
Well, if you ask me about that triangular thing, I'm definitely thinking it's a UFO, because all UFOs can come in different shapes. Like, there was an invisible one, probably in the 90s or the 80s, in the sky, and there was 3 lights on it. And then as soon as that was there, probably everyone saw it, but then it just shot away like nothing really happened.
You know what you should, there's 2 things I want to say to you. One, that was an amazing sighting, and continue your research. But number 2, have your mom and dad, you need to set up a page over at OnStellar for your UFO group. Okay? And so go over to OnStellar. They'll know what to do. Set up a page for it, and I'll get you guys a bunch of people to come over and hang out and meet all of you. And you can meet all of these people from the UFO community, and all of those. Who's your favorite researcher? Who do you like? Who's your, besides me? I know you're going to say me, but who is your favorite researcher?
Well, the one that you did say about, I would really like her to come and meet me.
Who's that?
The one on Breaking Mischievous or something like that, the girl.
Oh, you want to meet her?
Yeah.
Okay, I could probably arrange that, but I don't know if she's on OnStellar. But what about Richard Dolan? Do you like Richard Dolan?
Yes.
You like Linda Moulton Howe?
Yep.
You do? Who else? Do you like David Wilcock or Corey Good, the Blue Avions?
Yes.
Okay. I'll get all of them to say hi to you.
Okay.
See, I'm telling you, you're going to have to deal with the chicks, man. Now, I wanted to ask you this. What do you?
Yes?
What do you think we went to the moon?
Oh, well, that's a hard question because everybody says we do. But really, I think they all got it on tape. They can't just, sometimes get in a moon or a rocket, go up to the moon, because sometimes you can't survive up in the moon.
That's right.
It's impossible.
That's right. Now, what about, now since you know about all of these subjects, what about the flat Earth? What do you think about that? What do you think is going on?
Flat Earth?
Yeah, people...
The Earth isn't flat.
Why not? Why not, Mika? Why isn't the Earth flat?
Well, if it was flat, I would have said yes, it is flat, but it isn't flat like a mat. No, it is not. It's like a ball.
That's it. That's the end of the story, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's no even a reason to argue this. If somebody came up to you and said, the Earth is flat, Mika, you're just going to laugh at them, right? And just go, dude, you can't argue with somebody like that. What do? Just walk away?
Yeah, just walk away.
You're the best. Mika, thank you so much. And now I feel bad because you've got school today. So go and get some rest. You've got a lot of friends and family over here that are supporting you on Fade to Black. The audience loves to hear from you, but I can't keep you up all morning. So go and hold on for a second. I got to know, what does you're 9 years old, right?
Yep.
Okay, you're 9. What does a 9-year-old these days eat for breakfast? Do you have a breakfast cereal?
We sometimes eat breakfasts, or we eat toast with Nutella on it.
Oh, you're a Nutella guy. I love Nutella. Yeah. Man, I love Nutella on anything. You know what I like? I just like a spoon. A spoon with Nutella. Just give me the jar and give me a spoon. Do you ever do that?
Yes, I have done that before without my mum knowing.
That's right. Mika, behave and be well, man. Have a great day in school. Tell all of your friends I said hi.
Right.
Thank you so much. Mika, live from the UK, bringing it strong. The rest of you Fadernauts, you guys have a lot. You got a lot. How do you follow up that phone call? How do you do it? Well, let's find out right now. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Good evening, Mr. Church. This is Phil Christopher's here in the great Pacific Northwest.
Phil,
and I will not attempt to...
Yeah, you can't. That's a tough one, man.
I'm feeling a little like I've been set up.
That's a tough... Man, that's like, Van Halen is the opening band, right? And you got to go out and follow that up with your schlock act.
Exactly.
Can't do it, man. Cancel the show.
I'm going to be hard pressed because about all I've got for you is my theory as to why what To the Stars is all about. And what it might be a false flag for, or a diversion, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed to me as what was coming out about that time was unacknowledged. Oh, and Corey Good came out with a whole bunch of new information about the MIC and Antarctica.
Yeah, I know where you're going. Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
So I mean, it kind of it throws a monkey wrench into all that, right? We none of that got any press. Not that it would, but these guys got an end to, well, because Project Mockingbird. I mean, CIA, a bunch of them are CIA. They got an inroad into the mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
They've been paying them for years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, we need to. I agree with the guy that wrote the email, Edgar.
No, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah. Yeah, yeah. We don't really want disclosure, Jimmy. We want confirmation. We just want you to admit, or I mean, the government to admit, that they're doing it. That they've captured they shot them down, whatever. They've captured ships. They took stuff from the Germans, whatever it was. But I'm pretty well convinced that probably half, if not more, of what we see up in the sky is probably produced on this Earth.
Yeah, see, you bring up a really good point, though, Phil, and I'm not even sure if you caught the genius of it. But the CIA has been doing this for a long time. And the ability, because of their influence with Project Mockingbird, they've had journalists and TV people on payroll, and still do. It's not. Don't even think that has ended.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Any journalist that is not a journalist anymore, they got out of journalism. They were writing for a newspaper, or they were working for a TV station, and they got out of it. They'll come to you. They'll tell you, man, that stuff is controlled. And it is. So the ability for them to push all of this through is easy. And we all thought that it did hit the mainstream media pretty, all of the, even Tucker Carlson, right? Tucker Carlson, right. And everybody on CNN and Fox, and are just they used to crack jokes, and now all of a sudden they've got the straight face on.
Oh, there's very
wow, yeah, this is amazing. This is wow, this is just man, I got to talk about this some more. Can you come back tomorrow? Let's continue this dialogue. This is just amazing. Right. Let's talk about this video some more. I just can't believe this. Where is that coming from?
Well, somebody obviously said to him, "Hey, it's okay. You can start talking about this seriously now."
Now, I don't.
That's the only thing I can figure, man.
Well, I don't doubt that a lot of these talking heads and these, editors at different newspapers and online news outlets that they believe in UFOs. I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm saying they never talked about it in a serious. And suddenly, like a switch was flipped. They got the phone call. Okay, it's okay to talk about this now. We're going to go ahead and do this. I think you bring up a really good point, Phil. I'm with you on this.
I mean, sadly, I think it is a good point, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's sadly, it's a good point. But I really don't know. I don't. 2 years from now, this is my thing. And I know that I'm usually right. I'm always right. I'll just say I'm always right. 2 years from now, we're going to have one of two scenarios in play. Okay? Scenario number one, To the Stars is gone, and Tom DeLonge is back making records and touring with Blink-182. Okay, and Angels and Airwaves. There's that. Or the other scenario is To the Stars has released original alien interview videotape from Area 51, and they presented a flying saucer on stage in Las Vegas, and it's now an attraction, and we can go and walk through it at the Area 51 Museum, sponsored by To the Stars. It's going to be one or the other. Okay? 2 years from now.
Right.
So either...
there's so many people trying to do this, this is what I was just listening to Stephen Greer, Dr. Greer, and give an interview, and he's talking about, buy the book, give you a movie, because he wants to get money to build these crafts or the 0 point. So, I mean, there's a lot of places where it's going to come from, but I kind of agree with what you're trying to say, is we need to stop this infighting, because I mean, I'm pretty sure Corey Good and Emery Smith would love to see something like that come off. This is what they want with their disclosure, right? Is to release all this technology and the medical stuff, and some of this is, I mean, it's just absolutely criminal, Jiminy, that they've withheld it from us.
Yeah, I know. I know. And Greer, this is back to my point. Greer's been doing this for 20 plus years. Okay, this is now 2018. He's not new on the scene. There are others out there that have been doing this for an equally long time. You have to earn your reputation. You have to earn your stripes. You don't just get to waltz into the UFO community and suddenly get your street cred. It doesn't work that way. You got to get jumped in. And Elizondo going from a few months ago working for the Pentagon to speaking at the MUFON Symposium as the keynote speaker saying, "I am your savior." Oh, man. I'm just I'm not buying into that one. I'll hold off. No. If he was the keynote speaker, Phil, in 4 years, in 3 years, after he's brought all of this stuff forward, we got a discussion there, and I'm cool with it. But man, we're just
meta material. Bring that out. Do something.
Man, we're just jumping into this too quickly. Way too quickly, and so that's it. Well, man. Squinty eyes,
I hate
Phil.
to say this, Jimmy, but when it first happened in December, I kind of had an uneasy feeling that we weren't going to it wasn't going to turn out, and unfortunately, my feeling has turned out to be exactly what it.
I know,
like you said.
I know.
I'm
it's
not
sad.
wrong either.
No, it's sad, man. I'm bummed out. I still have I have a glimmer of hope that, I do too. Jimmy. I do. I have a glimmer of hope. Phil, I have a glimmer of hope that, tomorrow, Elizondo and Justice and Mellon all go, "Okay, church, we're going to come on your show. All questions will be answered." Okay, we will. The thing is yours, and the UFO community will get everything that they need from us. And don't hold back. And let's just do this. And you know what? I'll be respectful, and just ask the questions that need to be asked. But there's a glimmer of hope that that's possible. But that's
well, I've always believed, Jimmy, that anything's possible.
Right.
After 64 years, you kind of get to that point.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think the questions can be answered. I think the truth, the real answers to all of these questions are not going to benefit to the stars. And that's why it's being avoided. They're controlling the narrative. Let's face it. I've got to head to a break here, Phil, but let's face it. Yeah. Louis Elizondo going up and speaking at the MUFON Symposium, he is speaking. He's not taking questions. He is speaking. He's controlling the narrative. He's controlling the message. He's delivering a message. He's the savior. And that's I just don't sit well with that. Listen, I got to take a break here, Phil.
I don't like the savior. I mean, and besides that, it's never worked out really well for either party, the savior or the flock.
Beware of the Messiah. Beware. Yep. Thank you so much, Phil. Have a great weekend, my friend.
Man.
Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Fade to Black, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Phil did okay following up with Mika. That's a tough one. Mika's amazing. It's Fade to Black. Open lines, Fadernight. More of your phone calls next. Stay with me.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. Open lines, Fadernight, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Open lines all night long. Everybody that's on hold, stay right there. I'll get to you in just a second. I was over on OnStellar during the break, and I got a message. Well, I'm responding to everybody here. I've got messages all over the page. But Joseph hit me up, and he says... this just shows you, A, how cool OnStellar is, and B, that everybody is listening to the show and hanging out on OnStellar and commenting here during the show. Joseph says that MUFON just released a letter, and in a MUFON email, which I deleted earlier today. I didn't read the whole thing. It says... Luis Elizondo will be taking questions at MUFON. Maybe I should go. Should I go to the symposium? Hey, Rita, I'm going to the MUFON symposium. I'm gonna. That's it. I'm gonna go to the MUFON symposium. I have to. I will be, there's just no way I can let that opportunity go. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. Thank you for that. He's going to be taking questions. I think I need to be at the MUFON Symposium. All right, let's get back to the phones. Let's go to, let's see, who has been on hold the longest? Let's go to area code Naptown, Indianapolis. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Terry. How you doing?
How you doing, Terry?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good over here.
Yeah, man. Is this the first time you've called in?
It is. I've emailed you a few times. I think you helped me out with Twitter the other day on Stellar.
See, I do read my email, and I do respond. Yeah. I love Twitter, on Stellar, and anybody from Naptown is going to go to the top of the list anyway. So you've got that get out of jail free card with me, Terry. So
hey, you gotta love it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, now really quick, how close is the closest Steak and Shake to your house?
I can get to Steak and Shake in about 4.2 miles right across I-69.
Oh, so you're on the north side?
Yep, up in Fishers, Indiana.
You're up in Fishers. Nice area.
Like ice.
Yeah, you're in the high rent district.
Yeah, the wife makes me live up here.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. Fishers is absolutely beautiful, Geist Reservoir, and that's it. If you're from Indianapolis, you grew up hanging out on Geist Reservoir. So what's on your mind tonight, Terry?
Well, that article you posted last week on Twitter, it was basically like a research article, but it was talking about technology that had been gleaned out of Roswell, and so I ended up buying that The Day After Roswell book by Colonel Corso and Bill Burns, and I read it.
Right.
And over the years, I'm a chiropractor, and over the years I've worked on a ton of people, and I always hear stories in the office. And I've heard the Roswell story so many times from so many different people that there's no way they knew each other, so they couldn't have colluded.
Right.
And so my question is, basically the book, The Day After Roswell, was talking about taking the materials from the Roswell crash, reverse engineering them, and now we're utilizing their technology. And my thought was, when you think about how fast technology and society has jumped since the late 1940s, it's hard to deny that we've reversed engineered something.
Right.
I mean, we had thousands of years. They just found stone tools over in Crete that are 130,000 years old a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And then you go all the way to the 1940s, and then all of a sudden we get this giant jump, and now we have all these technology devices. Everything's interlinked. So my question is, obviously we have some technology here. What percentage of these UFOs that are up there flying around do you think are us versus them? And in your opinion, do you think that we're more of a cargo cult, like what happened out in the ocean where we dropped supplies on people and they thought we were gods from heaven?
Right.
Versus the real gods?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten that far into it?
Well, of course I have. And my brain goes right there. But the other part that I'm thinking is your chiropractic office is the place to hang out. So, it's like the barbershop, right? It's like,
yeah.
And I've talked about this before. My dentist office used to be the same way. I'd go and get my teeth cleaned, and we'd sit and talk about UFOs the entire time I was there, including that book, right? The Day After Roswell. Mm-hmm. But the 1947, for so many different reasons, is one of the most important years in human history. And you can go back and take a look at the things that happened in 1947, and the list is extraordinarily long. Some of the technological leaps that happened in 1947, including the transistor, right, which happened then. But the list is so long, including the formation of the CIA. That happened in 1947. The way that the military-industrial complex was then organized and things were created all the way down the line. It just seems like 1947, something happened. Of course, we have Roswell, and of course, we have the Rhodes photographs in Phoenix, and we had Seattle and what happened with the original, the naming of flying saucers. All of these things happened right in a row. Boom, 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 boom. And it was such a significant year. I don't have the answers for everything, and I hate using that word coincidence. But at some point, we just have to step back and start asking ourselves these very important questions. What happened in 1947 to cause all of this stuff to happen? I wanted to go back and comment, though. What the article that you were talking about was American Computer Company. And yes, and Jack Schulman is his name. And he was the president of the company. And back in the 90s, when all of this started to kick off, I'm going to say, if my memory is right, and I could be wrong, but it seems like this was 96, 97, and 98. And at that point, American Computer Company, ACC, did have a website. They were taking orders for these computers, and they were saying that their computer chips had alien technology that came from Roswell built into these chips, and they were the fastest chips ever, and so forth. That all happened at the same time when Colonel Corso had come out with his book. So in this part of the 90s, this was a big part of ufology and how this was discussed in all parts of the community. And it was a fun time for ufology because we didn't know. We had MJ-12 documents that were happening. We had Area 51 and Bob Lazar going down. We had Project Serpo that was happening at the same time. We had American Computer Company. We had Colonel Corso. All of these just amazing researchable subjects were going down, including the GAO, the General Accounting Office, came out with their report on Roswell. Right, so all of this happened. It was just like a pile of stuff that was going on. And this Jack Schulman, American Computer Company story. Did you read through the whole thing?
I did.
Now, that article, the reason why I wanted everybody to read that, this was what's the word that I want to use? Transcribed. This was a presentation that he gave at a conference. And you go and you read through he said all of these words to a crowd of people. And that's crazy town. It's crazy town. At the Global Sciences Congress in Florida, the 17th of March, 1999. That's where this presentation was. So it was 1999. I think by the end of 1999, ACC shut down. That was the end of it.
Yeah, I tried to pick the link up again, but I couldn't get it to come back up. But what's amazing to me is everything that people have told me over the years have come to fruition. When you listen to people in your office, they'll tell you little things here and there, and like Star Wars, that platform came out of that. There were so many different platforms and things that have happened and occurred. And again, it comes from different sites and sources, so that there's no collusion going on there. So you start thinking, well, maybe there is more to this story. But it's nice to have somebody like you on every night that has the capability to not get bored with the subject and just keep pushing forward. Because I listen every night because this is something that's really grabbed my imagination.
I just put the link up again in Twitter, so it's right here for everybody. And what you can do as you and I said this last week, this is the tip of the edge of the rabbit hole when it comes to the American computer companies. What's the research? There's still a lot of it online, and you can go and find it, and you should. But it's one of those stories. Let me get this up here on Twitter. One of these stories that, unless you were around in the 90s, you wouldn't probably have known about American computer company and what they actually did. You can go on the Internet Wayback Machine or whatever it's called and go and look at the original websites. There are a lot of graphics up online. You can find it and see what they were talking about. But it's a fascinating part of ufology and UFO history. Hey, Terry, thank you so much. Oh, go ahead, really quick.
Oh, I was just going to throw one more thing in here. I don't know how many other people from Indiana are listening, but the triangle UFOs seem pretty prevalent over the Indianapolis area. I had a patient in a couple of weeks ago that saw the triangles down while they were walking their dog in Evansville, Indiana. There's been numerous sightings over Miss Sentinel Reservoir up by Grissom Air Force Base. And the sightings are coming from people who are like well-respected members in the community. I mean, military guys, school board people, things like that. This isn't some crackpot looking at stuff. And the sightings keep coming out the same. You know, the same descriptions, the same everything. So, you know, I don't know if you guys ever get a chance, but my question is, do you think those are ours?
Well, is Grissom Air Force Base still open?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And we have the Crane Naval Aviation Center down just south over by Bloomington.
Yep.
And they've got a lot of ground out there. And I've heard some stuff out there, too, but I've been hearing more up there out of the Grissom area.
Yeah, and Grissom is surrounded by cornfields, right? They have a lot of space there to go if it is ours, where nobody would see what was going on there except for ears of corn and some cattle.
Yeah, exactly.
Terry, thank you
Jimmy,
so much.
Thanks for taking my call.
And go after the show tonight and get a chili 3 ways for me. Take a picture and post it, will you?
I will, man.
I'll talk to you. Thank you, Terry.
Night, man.
You too.
Tell Rita I said hey.
Yeah, I sure will. Thank you so much. Great phone call. Love talking to Naptown, and I miss Indianapolis so much, and I've got so many friends that are there. I can't even believe he just said Grissom Air Force Base. That just brings back memories. I can't really go into detail. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, Jimmy.
Hello. Who's this?
It's John.
Which John?
I'm the ghost of John Lennon.
You're the ghost of John Lennon. Who's calling?
I'm dead serious, John.
The ghost of John Lennon. Okay, John, what's your birthday?
October 9th, 1940. Born in Liverpool during an air raid.
Really? Now, I heard during the air raid that your mom disappeared for 4 hours. Where did she go?
I don't know. I wasn't born at the time.
Well, you don't know the story? She didn't tell you about it?
I wasn't very close with my mom until I was a teenager.
Oh, man. Well, yeah. Well, you should have asked her then, John. Seriously. Hey, John, since I've got you on the line, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course.
When during the documentary, when your house up in New York, you had a homeless guy that was camped out in the front yard, and you brought him in out of the rain, and he was cold, and you gave him some soup and some tea. And you said to him, when he said that his music had changed his life, you said to him, you know what, I didn't write the music for you, I wrote it for me. And you kind of bummed him out. What did you mean by that when you said that to him?
Well, I wrote the songs based on how I feel, or things that had happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
good nights about my son Julian. Julia's obviously about my mom.
Right.
Oh, Yoko is pretty obvious.
Right.
And I was writing from how I felt rather than what I wanted the people to hear or what I thought they wanted to hear.
Didn't you feel bad, though, when you bummed him out like that? Because the guy was cold and been out in the front yard in a tent for 3 days, and then he finally gets to meet you, and then you just slapped him around like that. Did you feel bad?
Looking back on it, I did.
Right. You're losing your accent, John. Is it because you've been, away from, us for so long?
Sorry about that.
You got to get it back, John. You got to get it back. So, but you had me for a minute, though. It was really good. It was a lot of fun. I think John went to the other side. Thank you, John, and don't be a stranger.
I'm still here, Jimmy.
Oh, you're back. Were you fading away? Did you fade to black for a second?
You could say that.
What do you think about this show? Do you listen often?
I try to when I can.
And you had your famous UFO sighting in New York, too, as well. Did that change your life?
Made me realize there were things up in the sky that I never knew about.
What do you mean?
Well, I always thought it was, Earth, me, Paul, Ringo, George, Yoko, everybody that's around us.
Mm-hmm.
But once I saw the UFO, I realized there's something up there.
When, it might have been Yoko Ono, if you think about it. She might not be from this Earth. And when there were a couple of times, I wanted to ask you about this. Everybody wondered about your relationship with Yoko, that maybe she did some kind of mind control on you. But, she's probably very intelligent, and I'm sure that was, part of a big part of your relationship. But when she was singing, like with Chuck Berry, and you guys got up there and did that song with Chuck, and she started screaming into the microphone, she freaked Chuck Berry out. And then when you guys got up on stage with Frank Zappa, and she just started to lose it, what did you think about that? Was that musical, or was that Yoko not in control of herself, or how do we explain that away? What did you think about that moment when you saw Frank's and Chuck Berry's reaction to her singing?
Well, to be frank, I thought, to be frank.
Yeah, that's funny. That's good. I got it.
I thought Zappa would have loved it because he's heard, what's that one band that was horribly off sync? They had that one album.
All of them?
No. I'm talking about the one that goes, the poor people's got what the rich people. That one?
Yes. Okay, so what about it?
Well, I figured he loved that, so I figured Yoko singing might, be of some interest to him.
Yeah, see, the thing is, with Zappa, you're in dangerous territory there. A lot of people think that Zappa is all about being weird. Zappa is a musical genius. So you can be weird, but you got to bring the genius part along with the trip if you want his respect. That's the thing. It isn't always just about being weird. All of the, and you go back and if you listen to all of Zappa's records and some of the crazy zany vocals like Adrian Belew when he was imitating Bob Dylan, that is hilarious stuff, and it's really well done. But it's coming from a guy like Adrian Belew, who was one of the greatest guitar players ever that walked this earth. So that's okay. When you hear me do smart, I stole that from Frank Zappa. I admit it. I pulled that off of Joe's Garage. That's great. But when Zappa said smart or Zappa says jelly donut, you're talking about a guy that can write a symphony in his head and then write it out and never play an instrument. So it's okay to be weird if you have the musical cred to back you up. And I'm not so sure that Zappa looked at Ono. That look that he shot her that day on stage was because she had some musical genius that was backing up some of the weirdness. Now, what about Chuck Berry? Chuck Berry got pretty mad, didn't he?
He did. I mean, they unplugged her mic halfway through the song.
Yes, he did. He absolutely did. Did you think it was going to go to blows, that you were going to have to break them up?
I didn't think so.
You didn't? See, Chuck Berry, man, you can't play around with Chuck. I mean, he's been known to crack somebody, and that was that was a pretty tense moment. But and Yoko didn't sing the second half of the song, did she?
She tried to, but they unplugged the mic, and then she just gave up.
Yeah, she gave up. Yep. Well, now, John, be honest with me. The second half of the song was better than the first half, wasn't it?
I don't know if Yoko's listening right now.
She probably is. Okay, so you're saying that the second half was better than the first half. So, John, are you able to, from the other side, are you able to record? Do you get to play music? Do you write? Do you hang out?
I hang out. I play music, but I don't really write much anymore.
Is there a way is there a way for you to get some of your new music down here to us so we can hear it?
Well, sure. I once told Julian, if you ever see a white feather, that's a message from me. And that's part of the whole anthology thing. That photo of Paul, George, Ringo at that tree, and there's the bird in the background. That's me. I'm the bird.
Oh, I wondered about that. So the white feather thing was, you can confirm that was not urban legend.
Nope, that's true.
Let me ask you this. I have teased I have teased Ringo over the years, and there are a lot of drummers out there that say Ringo was actually very, very, very good. He was a great drummer. I've given Ringo a hard time. Tell us the truth. Is Ringo a genius, or was he just the luckiest man alive?
Well, it's a mix of both, because first of all, he was way better than Pete. As much as I hate to tell Pete Best that, there was a reason he got kicked out of the Beatles.
Okay.
On the other hand, Ringo is very good at technique. He's playing his kid right-handed, but he's actually a left-handed person.
Right.
And the rhythm he can do on that. Have you heard some of Ringo's drum tracks?
I have. I mean, see, the thing is, and I've listened to his isolated tracks, but my take is this. And especially if you go back to that period of the 60s, there were a lot of drummers that were very, very skilled, and they were breaking new ground. And, of course, I could bring up somebody like John Bonham or Keith Moon, right? But Carmine Appice. There were drummers out there that were very technically proficient. And then I would see Ringo, and to my eyes, my eyeballs, not my ears, but my eyeballs, was like he wasn't at the level of some of the other great drummers that were out there. And that's my problem, right? That's my issue. That's my personal issue. But I've always, kind of held that against him because he wasn't one of those, technically. Think about Carl Palmer, right? And what he was doing back then. I'm trying to think of the drummer for Yes. Who was the drummer for Yes?
Can't remember his name at the moment.
But he was good. Right.
He was talented.
Yeah,
sure.
He was talented. Hey, well, John, listen, I hate to do this to you, but I got to take a commercial break here, and I got to pay the bills. But will you come back and visit with me again? Is it possible?
I'll see if the big man upstairs lets me.
That's what I'm talking about. Tell him that you want to come on Church's show. That's all you got to do. He'll give you a hall pass.
I would hope so.
Thank you so much, John. Be safe and be well. I'll give my best to Yoko for you.
Peace and love, Mr. Church.
I'll talk to you. The ghost of John Lennon, everybody, right here on Fade to Black. That was That was amazing. You never know who's going to call in to Fade to Black. That was really, really cool. All right. I'm going to take a break right here. I'll be right back. More of your phone calls are next. If you've been on hold, stay right there.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Beckley Tappy. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. Armio's Jimmy Church. Open lines all night. Fadernight, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Got an email during the break from Laura. She goes, drummer for Yes, you idiot, is Alan White. And she's absolutely, she didn't say idiot. But yeah, Alan White, it was right on the tip of my tongue. Alan White, I love this audience. Thank you so much for that, Laura. And you are quick. Yeah, I don't know how. We got to fly down here in the bunker, all the way down here. I've never had this happen before. And there you go, snuck in. Kind of weird looking one, too. It's kind of orange. I don't know. I don't know what that is. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's see who's been on the longest. Let's go to San Francisco. You're up next on Coast on Fade to Black.
Hey, Jimmy Church.
Who's this?
This is the one and only Johnny Ricardo.
Johnny Ricardo calling into my show.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. How are you, man?
I'm hanging in there, man. Hanging in there. Yeah, personal life, it happens.
Yes.
But I definitely wanted to call in and, I don't know, have my come to Jesus moment or something like that.
About what? About what? About what, Johnny?
Just, I guess, coming back into this, I grew up, like, on sci-fi, but most especially watching programs like Unsolved Mysteries.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
And always watched that with my dad. And he definitely brought me up with a good sense of, like, love your country, but don't trust the freaking government for whatever. And I was always fascinated with the whole UFO phenomenon. But yeah, becoming an adult, like 20 years ago or something, I just got caught up in adult life and my own personal matters, and I just lost touch with everything. And it wasn't until, I guess you could say 2015, I just started full on coming right back into it. And, oh man, there's just like so much I missed out on.
Like what? Well, like what? Like what?
I hadn't read Behold a Pale Horse until this past year.
Ooh.
And yeah, Bill Cooper, he's just been like sort of an obsession of mine since then. And yeah, I've even, I'm very cautious on just jumping on board with like certain subjects. Like I disregarded the whole QAnon thing for several months until it hasn't went away. Holy crap, there's actually something to this.
You know what I did to Rita, and she can testify to this. I'm going to say that for 2 years, she had to endure me listening to Bill Cooper for hours each night while she slept. And I would stay up and I studied him. I read Pale Horse back in the day. I listened to as much of his stuff back in the day as I could find on the net, all the way up until he died. And then I went back and would nail down the archives. And I would listen to I would listen to him all the time. I would just study him, and not only the hour of the time, but the entire Babylon series. You go back to episode 1 and listen to Babylon all the way to the end. And Rita had to endure that, and so she can tell and she can testify to the world that when I talk about Bill Cooper, I'm not somebody that read a page out of Pale Horse and listened to the intro of Hour of the Time once, and I'm suddenly this expert. I studied every word, every video, every show, every page of Pale Horse memorized because I think it was important. There was a part of Bill Cooper, Johnny, that bothered me too, as well. Mm-hmm. And there was a part of him that he started to believe his persona, and that kind of changed him. And so he went from, he abandoned ufology at the end of his career. That was, I thought that was strange. And everything that got him to where he was going, including Pale Horse. Pale Horse is all about the UFO subject, all of it. And and towards the end, I thought that he was starting to spin out of control. But he also revealed things at the end that were spot on the money. And it was frightening how, and I'm talking about the New World Order and 9/11 and Osama bin Laden and those that all of that panned out, and he was spot on the money. And then after all of that goes down, he gets murdered, right? By the feds of all things. Yeah. That was a crazy thing. Okay, so anyway, I understand. Once you get back into ufology, like you have, Johnny, and you go back and now knowing in 2018, studying Bill Cooper and looking back at what history now is, because we know the events that unfolded. It's a pretty fascinating story, isn't it? Bill Cooper will blow your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge history buff. I mean, Richard Dolan, he's, one of my favorite writers to follow. It's interesting to look at his material, even Dolan's material, and say, compare it to something like A People's History of the United States, or even that documentary series that Oliver Stone came out with a few years back, Untold History of the United States, and just see the connections and parallels on what they don't really tell you about history. I consider public school system to just be so flawed, because they get you ready for their system, but not how to, live your life.
That's right. Yeah.
On your own terms.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I'm glad that you're not only here with us, but that you are doing what you're doing now. We are so light years ahead, Johnny, of where we were in 1995 with ufology, let alone 85 or 75.
Man, I remember back in, I think, 94, I watched that Larry King special in Rachel, Nevada, that was being done live just outside of Area 51. And it was the first time I got exposed to Stephen Greer and not Hynek, but his name will come to me.
That's okay. That's okay, Johnny. That's okay. Don't even sweat the small stuff. But again, I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I liked during the 90s, on occasion watching the X-Files, but to me it just sounded give in to your little pipe dream fantasy, and this will just pacify you while we go on with business as usual. Well, my dad always said it was the boob tube, and
right.
After studying about stuff like MK Ultra and Mockingbird and stuff, it's oh crap, it is the freaking boob tube.
I know, right? Well, it played its part too as well. And you're right about that, Johnny. I've got to get to some other phone calls. I don't cut anybody short. I don't cut anybody short. But I want to say this: the boob tube, for those out there that have no idea what we're talking about. our parents and our dads especially, that called it the boob tube. We hate to say it, but they were right. And they knew. They knew that this was ultimately going to end up happening. And here we are today, and we accept it as being normal, about being manipulated. But there was a reason why our parents called it the boob tube.
Yeah. I mean, my dad was definitely ahead of the curve. He actually served as a volunteer in the Abraham Lincoln Brigade during the Spanish Civil War before World War II. And he had me like way later on at the age of 59 in 1977. So he definitely had a lot of experience to impart on me that, growing up, I didn't take literally at first, but with my own life experience, holy crap, Dad was right.
I know.
And Mom was right, too. Mom was right on some other things, but, hey, thanks to Grant Cameron and Stephen Greer for, enlightening me on those particular subjects.
Thank you so much, Johnny. Be safe and be well.
Thank you, man. It was great talking with you.
Thank you, Johnny.
I'll call in again sometime.
Don't be a stranger, my friend.
And, hey, thanks for on Stellar again, man. I am so glad to be on there and away from Facebook.
I know. It's amazing. I've seen you hanging out, but it's so much fun. Yeah. And let's, after the show tonight, I'll go say hello.
Hey, thank you, man. You have a good night.
You too, Johnny.
Go Beckley Tepley. May the force be with you, man.
That's what I'm talking about. That's Johnny Ricardo right there. And he was just hanging out with me on Stellar during one of the commercial breaks. And there you go. Thank you so much for the phone call, Johnny. First-time caller, too, as well. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Is it me?
Yes, it's you.
This is Chloe.
This is Chloe?
Yes.
Hi, Chloe. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous, Chloe. Just all you got to do is do this. Do this with me. Just you have to do this with me. Go. Oh. Okay, do it. You ready? You ready? Oh. No, you got to do it. Do it. 1, 2, 3. Oh. See, you feel better already. See, you feel better. You're relaxed. Okay, what's on your mind, Chloe?
I hear researchers and various people talking about if you've had experiences that you need to come forward and share those experiences. And yet, I have not found anyone who will respond to me to even hear the story. And it's not a short story. It spans all the way back to as young as I can remember. I was like 4 years old. So I have been interacting with something since I was a child. And my husband has had experiences with me, so he can corroborate some of the events. My daughter has had some of her own experiences. My stepdaughter and youngest daughter have shared in some experiences as well.
And what are the experiences? Contact or sightings?
Yes, some of them.
Really?
Yeah, my husband, the one I shared with him, we had been upstairs probably, I don't know, watching a movie or something or playing Yahtzee, I don't know. And this is in the house we used to live in. And the kids were already in bed, so it was probably after midnight. And we went downstairs to get something to drink. And when I say something to drink, I don't mean alcoholic beverages.
Right. It doesn't have to mean that.
Okay. So we go downstairs, and our kitchen, you can see the family room from our kitchen. And in our family room, there are these beautiful, glowing blue spheres filled with energy, moving around in the air, staying together in a group, but moving independently of one another. And I'm like, do you see this? And he's like, yeah, what is that? I said, I don't know. And we stood there and we watched them. And all of a sudden they shot off behind this wall, and we couldn't see them. And the next thing I know, I feel energy all the way from the base of my spine to the top of my head. And I said, hey, look at me. And he looked over, and I go, no, look at my back and tell me what's going on. So he looks at my back, my hair, my T-shirt, my sweatpants, everything looks like it's being pulled away from my body.
What?
Yeah, and I had this feeling, this energy running through me. The closest way I can describe it is like static electricity, but not like that, because that's just the closest thing. But it wasn't unpleasant. It was just, I could feel this energy in my body.
And were the spheres still there while this was happening?
Well, we're going to get to that.
Okay.
I said, I want you to come over and stand behind me and put your arms around me and pull me as close to you as you can. And so when he did that, he felt in his hands like something that he was moving and like pushing it through my body. And then he felt this force, like he explains it like when a magnet pushes another magnet away, that magnetic force that pushes away.
Right.
He said he felt like something pushing him away from me like that. And then finally it slipped between both of us, and it was gone. So they were there, but they were like in my body. They moved through my body. They came back, I don't know, like a week or two later. I live in a dimension of timelessness, so it's difficult for me.
Well, okay, Chloe, let me jump in. I got a couple questions, and then we'll continue.
Okay.
How big were they? Were they like softballs? How big were they?
They were that's how I described them. They were about the size of a softball.
Was there anything inside?
They looked like they were just energy moving inside.
And did they look round, or did they look two-dimensional, like flat?
They weren't flat. They looked round.
They looked round.
Like bubbles.
Like bubbles.
Like
okay.
balls of energy.
Man, that is so cool. That is so cool. Okay, so let's go. Let's go forward a week. I've got about 10 minutes before the break, so I want to get all of this in. Let's go forward.
Well, this isn't it. This is just what I shared with my husband one time, experience.
Oh,
there's a lot more.
Well, this is the good thing. You can use this show as your little place where you can go and share things that you don't tell your husband. Nobody will ever know.
Oh, he knows. He knows everything. It's just this is what I've shared with him, like he's experienced with me.
Oh, I want the secret stuff. I want the secret stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any secrets. but a week or so later, I'm sitting on the computer and I feel something enter the room, and I turn and I look, and I see spheres again. Only this time they're clear. They look like bubbles, and what?
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, and they were only like maybe two of them, and they were just there for like 3 seconds that time, just long enough for me to get a really good look at them, confirm that, yes, they're really there, and then they shot off. And I never saw them again, but after we moved from that house to here, they visited with me, and I felt their energy. Like they would come into the room, or you'd hear a snap in the corner of the room, and then I would feel the energy. And at first, I didn't know what I was dealing with, so it was scary. And I would say no, and I would roll over, and they would go away, and I'd hear the pop in the corner of the room, and it'd be gone. That happened like 3 times. And then finally, the 4th time, I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. And I allowed the energy to happen, to start at the base of my spine and run up. And I'm like, I know what this is. This is the same energy. But I had no idea what it was. I didn't realize that this was in any way associated with contact, even though I had seen other things prior to this event. So when I found out that these things are all associated with contact, last year, at the beginning of January 2017 was really difficult for me, realizing that everything in my life was like all these events were associated with contact, and that I really did see the things that I saw. I mean, I know I saw them, but it's like you can kind of tell yourself, well, maybe I just imagined that. Even though I don't normally imagine 8-foot-tall mantid-like beings in my bedroom, I can tell myself that maybe I imagined it But when I realized that this had happened and my husband had witnessed it with me and shared this experience,
right,
I couldn't lie to myself anymore.
Right.
And I had a really difficult time last year, like processing and like all these memories coming up throughout my life. And it's like, and this, and this, and this. And it's like all of these things are about contact. And so it's kind of like losing your mind and like, like losing your grip on, because your reality changes at that point.
It does.
Right.
What about, now you mentioned your daughter and your stepdaughter. Of course, you just told us about your husband, but what about them? Were they experiencing the same things?
My oldest daughter has seen the spheres on her own.
Right.
My stepdaughter, my oldest daughter, and my youngest daughter have all seen, in the house we used to live in, the robed figures moving through the hallways.
No.
And,
really?
Well, I think that's associated with it as well. I think all of these things are associated with each other.
Right.
And I think that paranormal things happen so that we will question and we will be curious and we will know that there is more beyond the physical reality, so that we will look more into it and know that reality can be manipulated, I suppose, or changed, or that there's more to it than just what you can physically touch.
Right.
Energy is real.
Right. And Whitley Strieber talks about this as well. Remember, there were lights. You have to go and read Whitley's books to get the full, because there's so many layers to it, and he's so detailed. But there are lights. There are different types of figures and beings that are involved. Could this be? It's all about the contact experience, like you're saying. It's what are they actually? I mean, what is the purpose? To have your entire family involved with this, I find that very, very interesting. Does it continue to this day?
The house, I've had a few things happen, but the house is very, very still and very quiet since probably January of last year, when it was kind of like, boom, this is what you've been dealing with your whole life. And it's kind of like, we're going to let everything calm down now that you've got it figured out, and let you take a breather. My daughter still has experiences. I mean, I still have like...
How old's your daughter?
My daughter, she's 25.
25?
She just turned 26, sorry.
Okay, yeah. I get that. So that's, again, so she's still, is she seeing the spheres, or is she seeing the beings? What is she actually still experiencing?
She sees the spheres. She doesn't really like to talk about it too much. She sees deceased friends and relatives. She saw my cousin before I did. She kept saying, "There's a lady walking in through the house," and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I hadn't spoken to my cousin in over 10 years, and suddenly she's sitting next to me. She's out of her body, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And I go and I look up, see if I can find anything on social media, and I find out she's dying in the hospital. So because she came and visited with me, I was able to look that up and send flowers to the funeral. And I'm guessing, I mean, they probably think I'm stalking them on social media, because my family just thinks that I am in collusion with Satan, because I have always had certain gifts and I've always been very different, and they're very religious, so
Right.
I've always been kind of the outcast.
Right. Wow. But it has chilled out for the last year.
It has been very quiet. I mean, I've had interactions with, like, explaining DNA to me, like, they said something like Scottish DNA, and I'm like Scottish DNA? What does that mean? And I go and look it up, and it's talking about Scottish DNA being this mixture of all these different types of DNA from all these different people that have traveled through that area over time. And so that made sense to me, like what they're doing, this mixture of DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about the ships and how they transform. And have you seen the video with the sand, and they send the sound wave and it changes the shape?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, then that's how certain craft, and I don't even know if they're craft, but the plasma, that's how it transforms. It's with the frequency like that. But
yeah,
the craft that what?
I said that makes sense.
Yeah, the craft that I saw when I've only seen this one time. It was amazing. The bottom of it moved. It looked like, you know how chocolate looks on font, like that chocolate fountain, how it has this curve and the way it's melting down. Mm-hmm. It's like the bottom of the ship, it was moving across, and it was beautiful. But it's like the ships are alive and in motion. They're not just made out of metal and so.
Solid.
But I've only seen
they're
that
not,
one time.
They're not solid. They're actually able to transform and move and change shape.
They're like a living thing.
You're like they're organic, right?
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Chocolate fountain.
Yeah, I've got a lifetime of experiences, and I would love to be able to sit down and tell someone in person with my husband there to corroborate, and someone can call up my ex-husband. I mean, he won't lie about it, and he'll tell you things like, yeah, she's a witch. It's like she knows things, and I don't know how she knows things. But I would like to do this
Chloe,
before something happens.
Yeah, Chloe, what you need to do is come hang out with us like at Contact in the Desert. You need to come up to ESETI. Come up to ESETI. Hang out. We've got all the researchers there. We've got all the Fadernauts, and we can just sit around and talk privately or together. But I'm telling you, when you get around your brothers and sisters, you won't be able to shut up. And
I'm probably not going to be able to go to ESETI this year. I've already looked about rooms and availability and everything, and there are transitions going on in our lives right now that we won't be able to do that.
Well, what about
maybe next year?
Well, in 3 weeks, you can come hang out with us right here in Southern California.
Really?
Yeah, Contact in the Desert. Okay, I got to take a break right here, Chloe. Okay. But go to Contact in the Desert and .com. Just go to my website and click right there and go. It's right here in Palm Springs. Come and hang out with us. I'm telling you. All right?
Well, I will see if we're able to do that, but like I said, we've got transitions going on in our lives right now that make it difficult to go places.
I get that.
My husband's he's getting ready to take over a business, so so it's
So take a vacation and come out to Palm Springs and hang out with us.
We'll try.
Thank you so much, Chloe, and don't be a stranger, okay? I want to hear more from you.
All right. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Chloe. Have a great night. That's the beauty of Fade to Black right there. You're able to call in and hang out with me. More of your phone calls are next. Stay with us.
And you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
So you went to dinner last night, you had your favorite pasta. Ugh. Or maybe you had a heavy, spicy meal and it left you. Ugh. GetTheT.com. Maybe you mowed down a huge steak and your plumbing is all plugged. Ugh. GetTheT.com. Our super strength tea will take care of your occasional. Ugh. It's all organic and non-GMO. Get rid of ugh. We have so many great supplements, but our super tea is number one. GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hey, can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. The holidays are coming. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Fadernight, Thursday night. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. And I just wanted to say really quick, and a little emergency going on over in Hawaii. Kilauea has erupted, is releasing lava into a residential area and leading to mandatory evacuations. And the eruption affected Leilani Estates subdivision in the lower east rift zone of the Kilauea volcano. And it started shortly before 5 p.m. I'm looking at photographs here of the lava pouring through. It's pretty incredible. So we've got a lot of Fadernauts out there in Hawaii, and I want everybody to be safe. The civil defense horns are sounding, and it's a very serious situation. So I doubt that anybody is listening to this program and not hearing those horns. So that part I can feel good about. But the other part is this: don't take any chances. Just everybody be safe out there, and we'll see how things develop over the next 24 hours. But Kilauea is erupting in Hawaii. Let's go to the phones. Area code 720. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Dave. I had talked with you maybe a couple nights ago.
Okay.
And I wanted to actually comment on that previous caller with those balls of energy and things that she's experienced. I've got some pictures I would love to send you where I've got quite a few orbs that are around me. And that was back when I was living out in Colorado. And I had sent those pictures to my family. And some of those pictures, there's actually faces inside those orbs.
Wow! And you have you photographed these.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's how we found them. I mean, you couldn't see them but once you would take the picture, they showed up in the pictures.
Right. And there's faces in the pictures. There's faces.
Yeah, inside the orbs.
Wow. What do you think they are?
I have no idea. And we didn't really, I think that was back kind of when we got our first cell phones with cameras in them.
Mm-hmm.
There was some pictures that were taken of me years before where I had orbs that showed up in pictures, with like 35 millimeter film cameras back in the day. But for some reason, they tend to be in pictures where, I have a picture taken of me and they tend to show up. So I got to send you some of those. And then also, now I've got an iPhone, and I'm sure you know because you've got one as well. You take a picture with your iPhone, and you get a couple seconds of video along with it, right?
Right.
So, we transferred apartments a couple of months ago, so we went into the new apartment. I went in there and took some pictures of the new apartment, sent to my brother. He wanted to look at it. And going back into those pictures, I touched on one of them, got a couple of seconds of video, and I've got orbs that are floating in those pictures. So I'd love to definitely send those to you as well.
Yeah, you have to send them. Also, send them to me. You have to send the live file. Right?
Okay.
They're called live photographs.
Okay.
And so, you have to send me the live file, and then I can see them in motion, too, as well. Yeah, I've captured a lot of orbs, and so has Rita. So is our daughter. Diana was capturing these crazy green orbs, and we're looking at them in the live pictures, and they're moving. And it's pretty crazy when you see it. So, really quick, you said you had something else.
Yeah, so the other thing is, and it hasn't happened to me since I've been a little kid, and I've mentioned this to my mom, and she said she's had it happen to her, too, when she was really little. But I would have periods where basically, everything around me seemed to be moving really fast. My time seemed to be normal, but everybody walking and talking around me was just super fast. Everybody was talking super fast. They were walking super fast. Or it would be the opposite, and everything around me would be moving slow, and it felt like I would be the one that was moving really fast.
It could
I don't
be,
know
right.
if any other people out there have, experienced that as well, but just another weird thing.
Yeah, I love it when that happens. So you were in slow motion. Yeah, that's cool. Dave, thank you for the phone call, my friend.
Absolutely, yeah. I will definitely send you those. You'll get a kick out of them.
I can't wait to see them. Okay, send the live version of the file. You'll see how to do it on your iPhone.
Got it.
Thank you, Dave. Be safe and be well.
You bet. All right.
Great phone call right there. 323-825-5045, 323-275-9695. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Eric, the Awakening Man.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
I'm kind of tired, but I always hesitate to tell you stories because I don't know if you're going to believe me or not, but this is a true story. I'm not making this up.
Okay.
I was leaving Arizona today. I was driving from Sedona, and I just passed Needles, and I was coming up to the Mojave National Preserve there, and then the exit sign said
Fade to
one
Black.
road. I think. Can you hear me okay?
It said Fade to Black.
Yeah. It said, I think it was Kegler exit, and it said I could go, if I made a left, I could have gone over the mountain about 80 miles to 29 Palms, Joshua Tree. So I thought, I'm just going to go to Joshua Tree. I'm not going to go this way. I'm going to hop over to Joshua Tree, and I'll stay over there, and then I'll just go home tomorrow. And then I made the left turn, and the road was closed. So I thought, wow, what a drag. So I turned around, and I thought, part of me is saying, I'll just get back on the freeway, the 40, and I'll just head home. And then I'm looking straight ahead, and I'm seeing this road just goes out to nowhere. And I've never been on this road before. I said, I've just got some time to kill. I'm just going to just start driving out here and just kind of observe and see what's going on. So it's a 22-mile road, And so I'm about halfway down the road, and I don't know if you see on Twitter, I sent you some pictures. I don't know if you got a chance to look at them or not.
I have not.
About halfway. Okay, well, you'll see them on Twitter. Anyway, about halfway down the road, I see this massive tower, and then right next to it on the right side of the road, which is where I was, a smaller tower, and I'm thinking, this is kind of interesting. And then I thought, well, there's a nice little mountain there. I'm just going to pull over here, and I'm just going to walk up this mountain and take some pictures. And so I kind of pull over, and I'm looking at this tower, and then I thought, okay, I'm just going to back up into this spot. So I put it in reverse. I back up, and I look back up at the tower, and there is this, I'll just call it an orb. It wasn't quite circular. It wasn't quite a tic-tac. It was kind of it was mostly circular, but it was silver, and the sun was shining on it from the right side because it was 6:30 at night, and it was probably about the size, if you took 4 Volkswagen Bugs and you pieced them together, that's about how big it was, and it was only not even 100 yards above this tower. And I'm staring at this thing, and I'm going, my God, I can't believe I'm looking at this thing right now. No one's going to believe me. I had my iPad sitting right next to me on my seat, and it was on because I was listening to a radio show. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to get a picture of this so I can prove to people that I saw this. So I looked to my right, grabbed my iPad, looked back up, and in less than 2 seconds, that thing was gone. And I was like, oh, what a drag. But I'm not kidding you. I'd never had a daytime sighting before. That was my first time. I've had several nighttime sightings, but that was pretty exciting. So I drove up and down the freeway for like 30 minutes, just hoping that thing would reappear. But
okay, I'm looking at the shot here that's got the circle. You've circled something?
That's exactly where it was, and it was not that high up. I was kind of shocked, and I'm telling you, man, that thing just appeared because I was looking at the tower when I slowed down, thinking, what is that thing? And that orb was not there. And then when I stopped and put it in reverse, that took like 3 seconds, and looked back up, it was there suddenly. And I stood there, and I'm in the car, I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at this thing for about 5 seconds. And I'm thinking, I've got to get a picture of this thing. No one's going to believe me.
Well,
I looked.
Where's okay, hold on. Where is the picture of the thing?
I did not get a picture of the orb. Oh, it disappeared. That's what I'm trying to say. By the time I reached down to pick up my iPad, and then I looked back up, and it was gone. I mean, it was there. It was weird. It's almost like it knew, and of course, I'm just assuming. Right. It was almost like it knew that I was going to take a picture of it, and it just disappeared. I was so disappointed because I thought, oh, this is just so close. It's right there.
You know, I'm going to mess with you right now. Okay.
I know you are. Go
okay,
ahead.
Eric. Okay, but Eric.
I swear on my life, Jimmy, I'm not lying.
Listen to me.
God
you
right
sent me a picture with a circle on it of where the object was, but it's not in the picture.
I know.
Who does
I just
that?
wanted you to know that that's the best I can give you. I know it doesn't match any of these other great stories you've had.
Oh, man.
It was exciting. I mean, how many people get to see an orb craft in the middle of the daytime in the desert? I mean, I've been praying for that for like 2 years now.
I know. And you know what else is amazing? How many people take a picture of the sky with nothing in it, and then they say that's where it was. And what am I supposed to...
I'll tell you what, I'll pay for a lie detector test.
No, it's not that. I'm not saying that.
I will pass it, I promise you.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this picture with the circle in it, if you take the circle out, it's an amazing photograph of a beautiful sunset.
It is.
But you messed it up with this circle in the middle of it.
All right. Well, I just wanted you to see where it was. I can kind of have a vision. Okay.
Who does
you got
that?
time for one more 1 minute story? This is the story I wanted to tell you last week, but I forget what happened. I got cut off or something.
This is the one about the cat that was eating cockroaches.
Not quite.
Okay.
So this lady that I've been trying to encourage you to get on the show, which I'm sure you'll have her on one day, but she lives in Sedona. She's who I've been hanging out with for the last 3 months.
Okay.
And so she grew up, she was born in Mount Shasta. She showed me her birth certificate and everything. So she lived there with her father and mother, and she was 3 years old, and her sister was 5 years old. And they lived right near Mount Shasta, and their backyard backed up to the mountain. So they kind of had their, the private mountain to themselves, even though it wasn't their property, but there it was right there. So she said as a child, her and her sister used to go play in the backyard, and she tells me that, and I believe her too, she's a totally legit person. She said she would see these little fairies flying around, and then she would see these little, she called them trolls. I don't know if it was a troll or a gnome or what it was, but she says they were anywhere from 1 to 2 feet tall, and they would peek out behind the trees. And she thought she was only 3 years old. She thought they were like her friends. So her and her sister would go out and they would see these things, and they were like friends to her. And then so fast forwarding, one day, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, her sister's getting ready to go to school, and they had this cat named Lucifer. And apparently this was a black cat. This cat was like 3 times the size of a normal cat. It was a massive cat. And she said this cat used to drag in birds and lizards and snakes and all sorts of crazy stuff and just leave them on the doorstep. You know, cats like to do that sort of stuff. So one day, she said, she was 3 years old, she said she'll never forget this. The cat, this is going to sound crazy to you, literally brought in a little 1 foot tall troll. It was a living being that the cat had crunched down on, and it's sad to tell you, it was twitching. The mother freaks out. She starts screaming. She goes and grabs a garbage bag and puts this little 1 foot creature troll thing that she said it looks humanoid to her. She says she'll never forget it. Put it in the paper, put it in this plastic bag, and took it into the backyard and buried it in the backyard. Probably buried it alive. But anyway, I just thought that was an amazing story because I'm not one to believe in fairies and trolls. But after I heard her tell me that story, I thought, well, maybe there are fairies and trolls out there.
Well, wait. Did this troll, was it like a garden troll? I mean, did it have a beard and the little hat?
I didn't really, here's the deal. She's got a boatload of stories, and one day when you get her on your show, I'm going to let her tell you all the stories in detail. That story I just had to tell you because I had never heard of a cat. Well,
okay. How old? What? I mean, how do you know it wasn't like a baby?
When you're going to meet this lady at Contact in the Desert, you're going to love her. She reminds me of a lot of the guests, like the lady you had on the other day. The last night, Michaela, was that her name? Michaela, my bad. Almost practically everything Michaela was saying was almost like ditto vibration from what her name's Suzanne Ross. She's got. I don't want to pump her up too much. You got.
Well, okay, but no, I got questions. So what you're saying is this was a proportional human. So
yeah, so like a humanoid being. I don't know if it had clothes on. That's something that you're going to have to ask her. I don't remember. I just know she told me the story.
Why didn't you ask?
She called it a troll.
But see, you got to ask the obvious question. Was the gnome wearing gnome gear? Right? Did he have the little curly shoes on, the curly toes? Yeah, a little belt. I know. I'm asking the questions.
Well, okay, I'm going to tell you the truth. This is the truth. I've got probably 10 stories that she told me. They're all supernatural stories, this was probably the 8th story she told me in the 3 weeks that I stayed at her house. And I'd have to. She wouldn't just volunteer these stories. We'd be sitting there, and all of a sudden we'd be talking, and then suddenly we'd be on to some story. It was just, how that happened. And I swear to you, I thought to myself, you know what? I don't need to know all the details because she needs to be on Jimmy's show. I'm going to let Jimmy ask all these questions because I want the audience to hear it from her.
Okay, Eric,
you're going to love these stories when you hear it.
Did you have some of that good California pot shop?
Completely sober. Completely sober.
You guys weren't hitting the.
No, she is completely sober, and I've been sober for quite a while now. But yeah, I'm cleaning up my act here. I'm getting on the good train. I feel like I need to really get my consciousness and my vibration at a higher level. So if the big man comes down, maybe I'll have a chance to go up with him.
Okay, so what happened? What happened to the garden gnome?
The cat, I guess it had it in its mouth, and it just dropped it right there on the porch step.
Right.
And it was twitching. She said it was twitching. She says, "I'll never forget. It was just twitching." The mother freaked out. Thought it was. I don't know if the mom thought it was dead or what, but she just freaked out. She ran and grabbed a garbage bag, those plastic heavy-duty garbage bags. I don't know if she picked it up with her hand or how she picked it up, but she picked this thing up. It was only about. She said between 1 foot and 2 feet tall.
Right.
And she put it in the garbage bag, and then she took it to the backyard and buried it. Now, this is one thing I thought. This sounds probably nutty to you, but
Was this in
I've got the
Sedona?
address. I know where the house is. I could go there and knock on the door of the people that live there and say, hey, my friend, she buried her diary in the backyard, years ago, and can I go dig? I'm thinking they could dig this thing up. Maybe the bones are still there. So
right. Well, wait. Was this in Sedona or in Shasta?
No, that was in Shasta, but no, that was Shasta.
The gnome was in Shasta.
Exactly.
Wow.
She's had amazing. Wait till you hear these stories from. She lived in right near Palm Springs, actually. Borregos Springs, I think it's called. Are you familiar with that? Borregos Springs? Yeah, it's on the other side of the mountain of Palm Springs. And
right.
She's had some experiences just in the last 3 or 4 weeks, in the last 3 or 4 months, that her and this one lady, I'm not allowed to say her name right now, but this lady's a psychic, and they've done some traveling, and they've had some abduction experiences where there was anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours missing time. But not too long ago, she was driving from that place out there, Gila Bend.
Gila Bend, Arizona. Sure.
Yes. She pulled over there about 3 weeks ago. They were heading to San Diego, and they got in the car, and I guess from there it's about 150 miles or roughly to San Diego, something like that, maybe a little more. And she said she was not driving. This other lady was driving, and she's looking out the window, and she sees this cigar-shaped type object that was below the mountain ridge and kind of just trailing them as they're driving down the freeway. And this was 2:00 in the afternoon. And then so she's looking at this thing, and she's telling the girl that's driving with her, she says, look at this lady's 53 years old, so she's not just, So she says, look at this thing. So the lady looks over, she sees it herself, but they're just driving along, and then all of a sudden she says, she looks up, and there's a sign that says San Diego 50 miles. And she looks over at her friend, and she says, what just happened? We just left Gila Bend, Arizona 15 minutes ago. We can't possibly be in 50 miles away from San Diego.
Wait a minute. She told me this story. She told me this exact story.
Well, I don't think she's called you, unless this is somebody else. How did you hear this story?
I heard this exact story 2 years ago. Went from Sedona to San Diego. They did the 300 miles, and they didn't know how they got there. And the next thing they know, they were right outside.
You might have heard the story from the driver, because
this is 2 years ago.
I hadn't heard about you until about 4 months ago when I told her about it.
No, somebody told me this. Somebody told me this exact story. Exact story.
There's so much stuff happening out here in Arizona, Jimmy. I'm going to move here. I just can't. I just love these experiences.
One of the two of them told me this story.
I think it was the driver, probably. It was
on this show. Word for word what you just said. But there you go. Wow. Okay, listen, Eric, I got to get out of here, man. I got to run.
Okay,
I got to run credit. Always fantastic to hear from you.
I'm looking forward to contacting the desert. I'll bring the Grey Goose. It'll be chilled and everything.
I'll talk to you. Thank you. I know you will.
Buddy.
Thanks, Eric. Bye.
Bye.
And I wanted to say that I've heard that exact story because I know some of you out there are going, hey, wait a minute. Somebody's told that the same story right here. So it was either her or the driver was on Fade to Black and shared that with us. I remember that, don't you? Somebody's got to go back on the Wayback Machine. Thank you to everybody that called in tonight. An amazing Fadernight tonight. And next week, John Rappaport will be back here. All of the tweets were amazing. And I was hanging out on Stellar tonight, too. Oh, I love Fadernight. Faded Black's executive producers, Rita Camurian. Shows produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster, Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. It's broadcast owned and copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at J Church Radio. Head over to On Stellar. That's what you need to do. Everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. Go Beckley Tepping.